the most difficult to get to, but it's where we see real power come into the collaboration. And that's when we've defined what will we do if someone breaks the norms. Now, we're human beings. Someone is going to break these norms at some point. And you and I have seen, I personally have led situations where we have norms in place. They're not necessarily being referred to. They are getting broken. And people start to observe that, hey, one of our norms is that we will be present and engaged. Yet several people at different points are checking their email, pulling out their phones, whatnot. If we haven't defined what will we do if that norm's not being respected, it often falls back to the leader, people giving that little sideways glance of,
are you going to do something?
This person going to do something about it? And if not, then it just becomes words on a page that doesn't really mean anything. So it becomes really hard for a leader to have to be the one that keeps everyone in line with the norm. And like you said, having them stated allows me to be able to do that as a leader when needed to, but it's probably more powerful when we can have the proactive conversation of when a norm is broken, what do we agree to do?
Well, and really thinking about that in the proactive way is that if we have this conversation with the team ahead of time about, okay, we know that sometimes you get tied up with your students in your class and you can't get here right away. But when that does happen, how do we respond as a team? And we've seen schools engage in this work before, and the first thing is to say, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And then the next thing is, what are we going to do about this?
I often share this story of working with a group of principals where we had the conversation of what will we do. We had a norm like arriving on time and engaged or something to that effect. And that was exactly what we had come to is we'll always stop to make sure the person's okay and then ask them to commit to one thing that they'll do to ensure that that norm is respected moving forward. And I can remember when it happened that we had to utilize that as a person came in late and people gave the little sideways glance to one another of, are we doing this? And it was exactly that. It was, are you okay? Yeah, everything's okay. And the person even knew what the next question was going to be. So she prefaced it by saying, and I commit that I'm not going to stop at the school before we have these meeting days today. I got caught and it's something I won't do next time. And so right there was the power of the norm.
Yeah, and I love that example in that, we're going to check and make sure that you're okay first, because it still shows that even though we have this list of norms or rules, that we're still going to move forward with that in a caring way, that we're still cognizant of the fact that sometimes things happen. Sometimes things get in the way. And how do we approach that as a team to be able to really be supportive in the norms going forward?
Well, and we've also seen that's not meant necessarily to be punitive. It might be that's, again, we'll arrive on time and prepared. If someone breaks that, awesome. You bring snacks next time. Well, that's our response that we will have. If someone's not being solutions focused, we will stop, everyone will take a breath, and then we'll return back. Just simple little things that we can put in place.